And we promised, look who's arrived. First time ever in studio. We've seen you plenty of times on campus locos. In case you were wondering who that is Michael Bratton. Never seen you dressed that well.
Well, Paul, I think your show's reached the bottom of the barrel when you have someone like me come in here.
Can you reveal what you're doing in town?
I don't know if I can. I think I'll be edited out.
Yeah, truthfully, Michael and I have both participated in a shooting. No, that's not the right word. A filming.
Yeah, please film me.
There's a big thing you'll hear more about in a couple of months that we're shooting not too far from where we are. And I interviewed with them all day on Tuesday, and Michael was with them this week in the aftermath. So it reminded me of a lot of familiar subjects that we've talked about here.
Yeah, no doubt. But I do have a feeling now that you've done it. I may have not done it if I knew you were going to do it. I don't know if I want to be that closely associated with you. But also I know that they're going to prefer to use your clips over mine.
Well, I don't. Is it? I didn't. I never signed anything, so I can say. So, did you sign something?
I didn't. No.
Okay. A lot of you have heard about it. Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Is doing a year in the SEC. They filmed it last year, and they're having a number of people sit in and talk about what happened during the 2024 season.
Yeah.
Your friend Billy Napier's name came up quite a bit.
It did. It did. And is he still the coach? I know there's a lawsuit and everything going on.
No, he's in good shape. His athletic director just won the national championship, and all is good in Gainesville.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I have to ask you this. We had Nick Kelly on, a reporter you probably know. He was with us a couple hours ago, and this is going to be unfair to Nick because he was mainly talking about the quarterback situation, but he said something that is really wild right now at Alabama is Ryan Grubb, the new OC, is sporting a beard.
Wow.
And that beard is on fire. I mean, he said that Ryan Grubb has changed the dynamics of that program with the intensity, with the connection to Kalen DeBoer. I realize it's early in the segment, but I'd like to get right to it.
Yeah, well.
Have you heard that?
I've heard the same, Paul, so I guess they're not serving ice cream at practice anymore.
No, they're not.
I mean, the intensity needs to be there because it was lacking last year. And now everything that happened, we're starting from scratch. We got our offensive coordinator, the quarterback. There's been, again, he may be drafted in the first round, but apparently he couldn't complete a pass if you ask the Alabama coaches. So, the excuses are gone, year two. And everyone keeps telling me, Paul, this is the most talented roster in college football.
Who did we have on yesterday? Bill Connolly told us that? Somebody told us that yesterday.
So it's playoff or bust, and it may even be championship or bust for Kalen DeBoer in year two at Alabama.
I think playoffs might be enough.
You think?
Yeah, Alabama
the bar's been lowered.
have lowered their expectations just a little bit.
I would hope so.
So what else do you hear? Because of basketball, we have probably spent less time on spring football here than ever before. What are you hearing?
Yeah, well, these coaches are doing a great job of killing spring football, Paul. Despite all the millions they're making, they want to control it more and more. And now, I think we're going to get. You had Mike Elko on your program recently, I believe, and
right.
I think they're the only ones that are going to do a televised spring game. So they're closing everything down, and quite frankly, I think it's kind of pathetic. I think that is. A loser mentality. They're afraid to show what they've got, and we can credit Matt Rule for starting that whole domino effect.
Matt Rule has done something right. if you don't like watching a game, to me, they have somewhat spoiled it because for fans, not only to be able to go to the game, take their kids, whatever, but how many times have you talked to a fan or heard from a fan, and we hear it from them all the time, they watch the spring game and they know everything.
They know the teams better than we do.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure it wasn't like any of the coaches were showing very much anyway.
No, but they're all going to use this excuse of players will exit via the portal. That sounds like maybe that may happen at Tennessee with the quarterback. So maybe there's a little bit of validity to it. But again, is everybody going to jump in the portal that has a great spring game? I don't think so.
No, I don't want to bury. I had buried the lead, but that's Pete Nakos reported something today from On3, and I was trying to avoid getting right to it, but I'll let you pick up the story since I know you've already talked about it today.
Right. Well, we've got a new portal window coming up here, Paul, at the end of next week. And according to Pete Nankos on 3, Tennessee's quarterback Nico is looking to restructure his deal, so to speak. When he signed his original deal with Tennessee, he was the richest in the country, but things have changed, and all of a sudden, he's far from.
How much was it worth? Do we know?
Around $8 million originally.
That's the total package?
Correct, yeah. So $2 to $2.5 million.
Nico has earned that money?
Well, that's the thing, Paul. If he doesn't live up to this lofty expectation, does he owe Tennessee any money? I mean,
So
I don't think
again,
the investment is.
I literally saw the story today. I didn't. I haven't talked to Pete about it, but so his sources tell him that this is going on right now.
It's been going on since December, Paul.
Okay, you obviously know more.
This has been going on for several months.
So tell us about it.
But I think it's out now because there's this deadline. There's a second spring
Leverage
window coming in a week's time.
Are Tennessee fans freaking out or not?
Well, if you heard this word, panikins, there's a lot of panikins in the Tennessee. Well, that's the thing, Paul. Tennessee fans are either freaking out or they're saying, hit the road because you're not worth what we've already paid
So
you.
there's not as much panicking as maybe you would have thought.
I mean, for people that want Tennessee to do well and like Nico, there's massive panic,
Okay,
I feel like.
sure.
But that's the problem. I think,
I'm panicking.
again, these players are worth what they're worth. And if Nico were to hit the portal, he'd probably get whatever he's asking. But at the same time, I think it's unwise to perhaps ruin your reputation with the fan base that supports you. And what is your legacy going to be? Now he's setting the standard. I want more. Well, he needs to deliver more on the field. What happens if they give him more and he's the same quarterback, which he was quite average last year in the SEC? If that's what he is again next year, he's not going to give any of that money back. No, I'm not saying he should, but what is his value? I think that remains to be seen.
Okay, we will talk more about that. We'll include your phone calls as well. This guy called earlier. I told him to hold on. You ready to take a call?
Let's do it.
You think you can handle this?
I don't know.
I don't know if you can either. Larry starts it all off. You're on with the Brat. Larry.
Hey, Brad.
What's up, Larry?
What's up, Brad? I'm running a little low on funds, man. I was wondering maybe if you want to make another bet.
Yeah, let's do it. You need some more beer?
Well, what do you want?
How many
man?
beers did you
want?
send
I
him?
bet Bama gets in the top.
I sent him
four.
$100. I don't know.
Oh, you just sent him $100.
They wouldn't let me send alcohol via the mail, so I just sent him $100.
Larry, did you get the $100?
Yeah, I got the 100. That's why I know an easy mark when I see one, brother.
So let's get another bet going here.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Well, by the way,
trying to do.
hold on a second, Larry. Larry challenged me to a golf match. Do you play golf?
Quite poorly.
Okay. Do you mind, Larry, if I substitute Brad in my place?
Hell no, I'd love to beat his socks off. Man,
I don't play golf,
and
I think you and Larry on the golf course would be far more entertaining. That way, I can be the commentator.
Yeah, I'd be down for something like that.
Yeah, that'd be great because I'd love to watch his mouth drop when I sunk that 30-foot putt. Watch out! Old Brett be whining.
What kind of golfer are you?
Oh yeah.
What's
You
the
wanna do
highest
it?
handicap possible? I'm probably there. Cousin Shane's a much better golfer than I am.
What about, I tell you what if we had Cousin Shane and you play Larry and this guy Brad from Macon wants to be Larry's teammate?
Let's do it.
Okay. I like that idea. I don't need to be involved. Because Larry, I'm really too good a golfer for you.
Yeah, y'all, let me tell you something. Y'all golfing would be like that magazine, Woods and Water, because that's what y'all would be in, the Woods and Water. I doubt if either one of y'all
Is there a
can
magazine
play
called
golf.
Woods and Water?
No, Brad, probably.
There's one called Garden and Gun, Larry. I've never heard of Woods and Water.
That's a magazine used to be out.
Well, I don't know if that's still around anymore. Magazine business is not exactly hot stuff right now.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I
Brad,
know one thing, Brad,
would
be
you
a
and
lot
Cousin
better
Shane be
golfer
willing
than
to?
betting on damn football.
Would you be willing to
No
come to
doubt
Alabama and
about
play?
I think we would.
Yeah.
Is Larry man enough to show up? I think that's the real question.
Yeah, I felt like we ought to play on a. Well, now I'm thinking I was about to say play on a really hot day, but Cousin Shane's making me nervous thinking about that.
Y'all
Yeah.
name it, brother. You talk cheap. It takes money to buy that whiskey, boy. Come on.
Okay,
man.
well, I am respectfully dropping out of the golf match. And Brad and Cousin Shane. Does Cousin Shane play golf?
Oh, yeah, he's very good.
Oh, okay. He will take
probably
on
shouldn't have
you.
said that.
And are you okay with Brad from Macon as your partner?
Yeah, how about that? Plus, I'll bet him 100 Bama gets in the top 4. How about that, Brad?
Top 4 of the what?
Playoffs.
Okay. I mean, man, the bar has been lowered, Paul. You weren't kidding.
So,
Alabama used to try to win the championship.
So, Larry, you're saying Alabama makes it to the Final Four in the playoffs, right?
Right.
Right.
Oh, okay.
You like that bet?
I'll take that bet, Paul.
You gonna take it, Brad?
I'm right here, Larry. I got you.
Oh, brother, you know what? I've been broke, and I'm so happy I got to talk to you today. I am going to go down and charge something on my account because I know I have money to pay it off. Yes, sir, Brad. I appreciate you helping.
Hey, Larry, thanks for the call.
Economic profile.
We'll be back just in a moment with more bets here on ESPN Bets. We'll be right back. We are back. Final few minutes of our program on this Thursday. And Brad, this is Larry's teammate from Macon, Georgia. You've seen Brad. He's the one that went after Ari Wasserman.
I loved it. I think Brad won that one.
What do you got, Brad?
I appreciate it, Brad. You all right with me? Man, Brad's he's the man. He's one of my favorite guests on the show, Paul.
Now, the question is, how good of a golfer are you?
This guy's a good guy. This guy's an athlete.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we played today, Paul. We didn't have a good day. Me and my partner did a little two-man scramble, and we shot 75. We had opportunities.
See, I think Brad by himself, but I'm going to come up with some rules because I don't want to do this like. What I like is the alternate shot. That way,
Ooh,
Larry and Brad and Brad are going to be yelling at each other the whole time. Because Brad, how far do you smoke the drive, Brad?
Well, I was going to tell you today, my best one, it was windy in Georgia, and I did have the wind at my back, and it was a 455-yard par 4.
Okay.
And we chose my drive, and we only had 140 left, so I smoked it out at about 315.
You're going to have a par 5 here, and Brad's going to smoke one about 275. Perfect layup situation in front of a lake. And Larry's going to skunk it right in the water.
Brad's going to crap in his pants.
And all Brad's going to say is, just shake it off. And then Larry's going to be like swinging his club at Brad. I know this guy, Brad.
Well, listen to me. I'll kind of take it easy on my partner for about 3 or 4 holes. But if they don't start hitting some golf shots, then I have to pull them to the side.
I ever tell you about the time I played with Steve Spurrier, Brad?
Oh, no. Steve's,
first time I'd ever played with him, and we were playing at a big-time course. We're talking Golf Digest top 30 course. And I played a lot back then. I was playing really well. And we got to the final hole, and we're playing this was in Birmingham, and these two Florida guys were playing, and I was on Spurrier's team. And I think we were tied going to the final hole. So Spurrier looks at me and just said, make it a good one. I go, no. And this is when he was still at Florida, by the way. I mean, not the South Carolina version of Steve Spurrier. What did I do? Naturally blocked it out straight into a tree about 50 yards down the fairway. He stared me down like only Steve Spurrier could do in his prime. I just walked away. I mean, my ball actually fell into the fairway. I wasn't that devastated. I just wanted to get away from him. And we were playing. I don't know what game we were playing. Spurrier. Guess what Spurrier did?
He threw his visor at you.
This guy's like I don't know, maybe a 5 or a 6. He hit.
He's good.
Brad, he hit the same tree. And he stared me down like it was my fault. The bottom line is, I think I still parred the hole, and we won. But it was still. I mean, I'm not even sure he spoke to me after the match because he had the same drive I did.
Hey, I was going to ask you if you've been trained in CPR, Paul.
I haven't, but we can bring somebody who has.
Cousin
I was
Shane.
going to say, if you're going to take Cousin Shane out there in the middle of the summer in
I'll
Alabama, you better have somebody.
I'll bring a medical doctor with us. Okay.
You better bring some paddles with you. But yeah, that'd be good, Paul. Hey, Paul, you could be the official rules.
Yeah, I'll wear a bow tie and. You remember that famous Lee Trevino quote? Remember Lee Trevino?
Oh, yeah.
He's got a million of them.
Lee said he was at the U.S. Open and he was really upset about whatever. He won that a couple of times. He said, "I'll tell you what I'm going to do when I retire." He said, "I'm going to buy a cheap blue blazer, smack a USGA emblem on it, get a can of dandruff and pour it on my sleeve, and I'll be a USGA official."
Paul, you know my favorite Lee Trevino quote is a great one. And he came off, he didn't have a good round. He said there's two things that don't last on tour. He says two things, he says there's two things that don't last. Dogs chasing cars and pros putting for par.
Oh, you're right.
That's what he said.
I played with him about
said.
3 or 4 times in a pro-am, and I mean, I'm telling you what, he in his prime, this was senior golf. He was I spent the afternoon with him. He had to wait for somebody to finish to fly back, and he sat around for 2-3 hours. And I knew his career. I said, okay, what happened? A playoff between Nicklaus and, I don't know, 70, 71. He said, okay, first hole, I pulled out a snake. He did. I mean, you probably read it. He said Nicklaus was done. He pulled out a plastic snake and threw it at Nicklaus. And Nicklaus, he owned Nicklaus after that because Nicklaus was really. I mean, this is the U.S. Open. This isn't like some Bob Hope charity classic. I mean, but anyway.
Maybe we do that to Larry. Throw a snake at him.
We'll do more than Larry. Here's what we're going to do with Larry, Brad. We're going to go ahead and we're going to find. I don't want to come off. I happen to know Miss America. Remember we had her on our show a couple weeks ago. The young lady that went to Auburn. We had her on. We're going to have Miss America walk with us the entire time.
That won't distract him.
Man, you trying to mess my partner up. You know how Larry is. You're going to mess my partner's game up, Paul. We can't do that.
You are done, Brad. Hey, thanks for the call. Anyway, I just hung up on somebody. Why don't we take a break? We'll take a short break. We're back. Final few minutes right after this. We are back. Final few minutes with Michael Bratton. First time he's ever taken. Well, we talked to Larry, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk to Johnny B up next. Hey, Johnny.
Hey, Brad. I've talked to Brad before. He and I predicted the downfall of Saban and now the demise of Georgia, and it's all coming to fruition. But I want to talk about this golf. This will be the only time in life that Cracker Barrel, Jack Daniels, and Miller Lights ever put on thing. We're going to have a drink cart, Miss America driving it. And since my back's out, I'll have to help drive and give out drinks. A gravy biscuit cart for Shane. And four ambulances, Paul.
Yeah, we do need a few ambulances.
Yeah. But this
I mean, one is for Larry, and 3 are for the people that Larry hits with the ball.
Yeah, and the ones that he gets in a fight with. I forgot that we may need more. But I got one quick true story. I know we're pressed for time. I put on a golf tournament at a plant I worked at one time. And, you know, the guys that played, we took off. It was just a 9-hole event, and vendors was taking us to eat and everything. So we get done, and we come back to the 3rd hole at Twin Pines, a par 5 with water in front. And this one guy's got like two clubs and a tube sock. This other guy has borrowed his clubs from his brother-in-law, a nice set of clubs. And this guy had a temper like crazy. He hits 2 in the water right there on the edge of the, you know, he's on the water. And everybody's standing up around the green. All the people's waiting on them to get through. And he's tapping the club on the ground. They said, "What's wrong?" He said, "Well, you're out." He said, I didn't like this damn game anyway. He picked it up and he throwed the whole bag of these brand new clubs, leopard bag, in the water. And everybody starts laughing and said, what's wrong with you? He said, well, I thought if you hit 2 in the water and you was out. Well, I was ready to go to the clubhouse and eat. And he's like, no, it's your turn. The furthest away is turn 2 as you're out and your turn to hit. And he said, well, damn. He turned that guy with them 2 clubs in the sock and he said, well, give me one of yours. I've never laughed so hard in my life. But it's golf week, it's Masters week, and I always like it when Brat's on, and thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, John. John is up next.
Hey, Paul. What I was referring to earlier.
By the way, John, do you know our special guest, Michael Bratton?
Well, I was going to tell that's the reason I called, Paul, is because this is what I was talking about, Mr. Bratton. I'm not going to call him by his first name, Mr. Bratton.
Yes, sir.
This is exactly what we need to have on this show. You know your stuff, young man, and you know business. And Paul, this young man is a pillar of success. And Paul, let's have him on this show.
Hey, by the way,
more often.
John, what do you think about him just hosting the show from this moment on?
Well, Paul, you know something? I think you need to think about it.
I have thought about it. I am going to officially hand the reins over to Brat right now because I've got somewhere to be.
Appreciate you, John.
Cheerleader is on with Bratton.
Oh, Paul, thank you so much. And I just want you to know that I've got a little side hustle going on in Mountain Brook Village.
What's going on?
There's a new shop, Mountain Brook Village, called Market, and you wouldn't believe everything in the world that they've got in there.
Now, Mountain Brook Village, is that where the near the hotel?
No, well, we're the older part of Mountain Brook Village, right outside of the circle where Realty South is.
Oh yeah, I know where it is.
Right on Monavale Road.
Yeah,
that part.
I got it. I
But it's fabulous. And when you and Linda get to town, I'm giving you a personal tour.
Okay.
And let me tell you who came in there today.
Who came in there?
And said they used to work with you, Eve from John.
Oh, Eve. Of course I know Eve. Sure, Eve was great.
Oh man, what a beautiful lady! She said, "Tell him hello when you call."
No, Eve
So
was
I did,
Eve was a salesperson for us.
Yeah,
Well, that is great,
yeah.
Shirley. I'll look her up. I haven't talked to her in many, many years. Billy D is up next.
Hey, Paul, I was in a golf tournament one time. It was That's Jake golf tournament. Have you ever heard of That's Jake? It's a cartoon character.
No.
Mm-mm.
Right. And so anyway, he's got like a big cowboy hat and everything else. And so there was a tournament in Mobile. And so I showed up for it. And after I dropped somebody off across the bay, a girl, and came back to Mobile and my car broke down. I got on a payphone, days of payphones, called a friend of mine and said, come pick me up. He picked me up. He poured me into my bed, and I laid in the bed for about maybe 20 minutes. And he said, all right, man, we got to get up. And so we get up. We go to the golf tournament. And as we're sitting there, he goes, hey, man, do you see what's on the list? And I said, no. And he said, look, you're the A player. Do you know what that means?
I do know what that means. That means you better be good. Will is up next in North Carolina.
Hey, I'm hungry and I'm wanting to go to Cracker Barrel in my town this afternoon, but I have to know, has Cracker Barrel lifted the restraining order on Shane?
Well, okay, so I don't understand that. What's happening here?
Yeah, so Cracker Barrel blocked, literally and figuratively, their biggest fan, Cousin Shane, off social media after he sent his daughter to go work there solely so he could get the family discount for every trip he went. They have since corrected their decision. They've reached out to Cousin Shane, and they're sending him a Cracker Barrel credit card.
Where is that headquartered?
Right down the street, outside of Nashville.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a southern operation.
Lebanon, Tennessee.
All right, he's back in he's back in good graces. I'm going there tonight. Then
I appreciate it, Will. Thank you for checking on that.
You have a great show, Michael, too. I just want to mention that, too, and get off here. Y'all do good.
Thank you, Will. Okay, let's get a couple of predictions from you before we go. Of the SEC schools, who's going to make the playoffs?
Alabama, Texas, Georgia, and then we're going to go 4, right? We got to go 4?
I think it's going to be ordained to be 4 this year.
Maybe I'll give that last spot to LSU. How's that sound?
I mean, everyone is high on LSU.
Well, because they have to make the playoff. This has got to be the year for Brian Kelly. They're going all in, just like Lane Kiffin did last year. Now, hopefully a different story for them.
Right now, just a minute left. Last year, Billy Napier and you were at odds. Lane
Whiffen.
You call it. Who is your target for the spring and summer? When we see you in Atlanta for SEC Media Days, who do we need to get a restraining order to keep them off of you?
Probably the coach down at Auburn right now, if he is still the coach.
What's wrong with you? Hugh Freeze will be with us Monday. Go ahead. Let's get a clip for Coach Freeze. What don't you like about him?
Well, it's never his fault. At least 9 times out of 10, it's not his fault. It's everybody else's fault. He's fired everybody he's had to fire. He's gotten rid of players. Now he's got his guys. So this is the year. This is way more talent than he's ever had to work with. They're getting Georgia at home.
Got a quarterback
getting Alabama at home.
Needs to skip the Manning passing academy so he can work with his receivers.
Right. I mean, that's exactly what I want to hear heading into football season. So 9 wins or more for Auburn. Otherwise, this is a complete failure.
Oh, my goodness. Clip and save that, guys. Michael, thank you.
Appreciate you, Paul.
We'll take a short break.